On an ordinary afternoon in the fall of 2015, the phone rang at my desk in the U.S. Attorney's office in downtown Baltimore. It was Andrea Smith, who ran a regional drug enforcement task force for the Department of Justice. Andy asked if I could join a meeting in her conference room. She was 2 floors above me in the same building. I told her I'd be right there. I'd previously told Andy that I was interested in handling fatal heroin overdose cases. The nationwide opioid epidemic, driven by the proliferation of prescription painkillers and the introduction of fentanyl, which is more powerful than heroin, had pushed up overdose deaths in Maryland. As a result, our office was getting more and more such cases. Andy had given me a case in which the defendant, a drug dealer who'd supplied the heroin that killed the user, ultimately pleaded guilty. Was this meeting about another one? Andy had hung up before I could ask. When I got to the packed meeting, I only recognized one person, a DEA agent who'd worked my overdose case. The others looked like undercover police officers who worked drug cases. They had facial hair and tattoos and were dressed in jeans, t-shirts, and hoodies. Many of them wore baseball caps. One guy even had a man bun. They looked a lot different than the FBI agents I was used to working with. Andy asked everyone to introduce themselves. The officers around the table were from Baltimore City, Baltimore County, the jurisdiction surrounding the city, and Harford County, half an hour up Interstate 95. They were talking about someone named Antonio Shropshire, a major heroin dealer who operated in and around a shopping center in northeast Baltimore in the 5600 block of the Alameda, one of the city's 3 parkways, meandering streets with tree-lined medians that linked major city parks. In broad daylight, Shropshire and his crew sold heroin to people lined up in their cars, in full view of law enforcement. The Alameda was developed at the beginning of the 20th century when Baltimore was the 6th largest city in the United States and growing. By 2015, like so many parts of Baltimore, the boulevard showed what disinvestment in drugs had done to the city in the second half of the 20th century. Trees still stood along the Alameda, but many of the houses had been abandoned.